All right, guys. Well, it's 15 days till June the 9th. I thought we'd do a little Gypsy Rose cuckoo, cuckoo, cucking countdown because we know she's going to do something. We already know how these motherfuckers are with their signs, symbols, and their numbers. Something's going to go down on June 9th. All right? Here's the plan, guys. Either way, whatever else they're gonna do, and we're waiting to see we're waiting on Ken or someone to buy for Ken some plane tickets to somewhere exotic, probably Turkey or somewhere like that. Then we shall alert you that they're going to make their move because Ken is going to take off with that baby talking about, oh my God, Gypsy's so crazy for this reason and that reason. Oh, that's why they're doing all this stupid shit. They got her dancing in the rain, looking like a fucking emo out there. You know, that was purposeful, guys. That's purposeful. We're supposed to talk about. And look, they're all pushing it. Oh my God, you think Gypsy's... They're all doing this. It's disgusting, right? They're helping her. And in essence, well, they're taking money or whatever it is from the devil. Threats or money from the devil. Well, good luck with that. They're playing crazy with her. They're going to do that. All right? And then Ken is going to say he feared for his daughter's life and his own, so he had to take off with the baby, never to be found. Number one and number two of the big three are fixed, man. Number one, having a relationship. They are Ken and Gypsy. They are both homosexuals and have never been in a relationship. That was a gig for him. Okay. Number two, well, as a product of that, there was no baby. Of course not. They don't have a kid. Now, I want to cover this real quick too. They're also trying to frame it in some places that this karma collector person doesn't think that the baby's real. Okay, this is what they're doing. That when I see the pictures of the baby or their little video when it's like when it's like Gypsy's niece or some friend's kid or some kid they borrowed or whatever, that I'm saying that I don't believe the people are real and all this shit. Like I'm fucking cuckoo like she is, right? No. I've always said there was a real baby involved. I've always said that, man. Go back to my first video on YouTube. Kiss my ass, these people saying this shit. Kiss my ass. I've always said there was a real baby. Jerome and Mike Stanfield brought a real baby. I don't know where them motherfuckers got it from. And met with Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken in a studio to film in southwestern Mississippi. That's where they did that Lifetime fake little thing when Ken come out like they just had the baby. They tried to film a fake one with her, but she couldn't pull it off because she couldn't do it. Ken acted real well. They said he looked like, wow, he just really had his first baby. Gypsy couldn't pull it off. She says like a complete idiot. No one would ever buy it. So that was in Mississippi. Those two brought that baby to them. They know they did. Joe, Mike Stanfield, tell the truth and shame the devil. You both know good and goddamn well what I'm saying is the truth. Excuse the GD. They brought in that baby. There's always been babies involved. Okay, and then the whole family can lie too. They were using Dylan's kid for a while. They can all lie. I know what they're doing. And they get children from other places and friends. Whatever can happen. Oh my God, you got a kid? You know what an opportunist and a piece of shit Gypsy is. Oh my God, they got a kid. It don't matter if it's a boy or a girl. We'll put a boy in a dress. We don't give a fuck. We'll put a boy in a dress. We the lizard people. We roll like that anyway. Oh, look, they got brown hair. And then they pay him to use their kid for whatever. All you ever see Aurora is photo ops and a quick video and a photo op. That's all. Proof of baby. See? Because they were told it's going to be so easy, Gypsy. Just tell them you'll never, ever, ever put your kid online. No, it's unsafe. I don't want to put my baby online ever, ever, ever. She was 5 minutes pregnant. She decided that. Right? When she was craving the orange juice and making sure she took her prenatal vitamins and she was nesting, the whole thing. We remember. And she showed us a fucking 4-month-old, she's not a 4-month. She shows us a nearly 2-month fetus up there and says, I'm Paul. Oh, it's June 9th, which is 4 weeks after I lied and said I conceived the beginning of May when I ovulated last. So it's 4 weeks from that today in June 9th. And look at this 2-month fetus. That's because it's June 9th, though. Because it's June 9th. I got to do something. So here I am. Not a minute pregnant, 4 weeks pregnant, where they would never detect anything without a vaginal ultrasound. It wouldn't look like that. That one looks like it's about ready to take its fucking driver's permit. That is like a fucking... I don't even want to go there. She had to do something on June 9th. She has to. She has to do something. Now, let me tell you something. I'm not real well versed in this one. If you want to, I'll tell you who is. Esoteric Atlanta. Shout out to Esoteric Atlanta. She's the only one of the few that knows what the fuck's going on. And she invited me on her show, but again, I made a commitment to my people that I won't go on any lives unless it's Gypsy Rose Blanchard that I can cross-examine with a moderator. Okay, but if I would go on anyone's show, it would be hers. It would be hers. Okay, I just can't right now. Gypsy's got to pop my cherry. If she'll do a live with me, I'll definitely go on her show. But Gypsy's got to do it first. She's got to man up. So shout out to Esoteric Atlanta. I don't even know your name, but Karma Collector says shout. You're doing great work, man. You really are doing great work. You know what time it is. That woman there knows what time it is. If you don't, check that out. Go run on over there, man. Shh. Go right over there. Shout out. She knows now. She knows what's happening. Yeah. All right. So enough of that. I just want to talk about some Gypsy Rose herself a little bit tonight. Because she's Ashpon 6 over there in my comments on YouTube. Right? Showing out, man. With all these videos when I'm talking about what happened the night of the sacrifice and who was there. And she's over there saying, I'm a good friend of Gypsy's. I'm Ash Blonde 6. Gypsy claims she doesn't know this Ash Blonde 6 person. Well, she's over there going, well, that didn't happen. There's no sacrifice and they're drinking blood and all this. And I don't know why Gypsy has all these things in the world. Book deals, documentaries that are made, to shed her in a good light when she's the evil bitch behind the whole thing and make the other guy look like a monster. So the minute she gets out, she's a media darling. There's 8.5 years for slicing her mother's throat from ear to ear. But you won't see that in the fake autopsy because they're all Luciferians. So I just want to talk about she's over there so frantically, and that alone, guys, should tell you I'm telling the truth. Why would she be over there frantically in these, just trying to explain away everything in the third person? Like, if this motherfucker really was Gypsy Rose's friend, she'd be telling her all this shit anyway. Gypsy Rose told us Gypsy Rose told us in an interview, I wouldn't even tell my lawyer the truth. And this dumb motherfucker, Ash Blonde 6, is talking about she knows everything about it. Of course, it's Gypsy. So if you want to go over there, that's proof right there what I'm telling you is true, guys. So that alone is proof of what I'm telling you is true. You don't need anything else. Normal people don't act like that. Why are people defending lies? Why are we defending lies? I promise to calm down, man, but guys, this gets me so upset that why people are even questioning anything she says. Why are we relying on the testimonies and the police witnesses? You guys are relying on the police interviews of two bumbling fucking idiots. I know what's his name's got problems, but bumbling fucking idiots who are accused of a heinous and grisly crime they know they just committed. And if both swore to one another beforehand, they would lie for the other one. I'll lie so much till that son, I'll lie, blah, blah. And one is trying everything to sacrifice himself, no pun intended in this situation, to save this ungrateful, petulant bitch, her ass. Because he loved her so much. Because he thought this evil bitch loved him back. But while he's in there doing that, she's quick to throw him right under the bus. It took an awful lot of prompting from that asshole detective who was throwing a life preserver after life preserver. Just latch on to it, Gypsy. Blame it all on him. Wasn't he an animal? He was a Jeffrey Dahmer type, just like your mother said. Wasn't he? Oh, I know, honey, he was too strong. He was just too strong. You couldn't stop him. Do you see how evil these cops were? And that female one, he's supposed to have a motherly kind of, I don't care if you're a detective, some kind of motherly instinct or something to protect An innocent boy like that? I'm not saying totally innocent. He stabbed a corpse. He is guilty of accessory before the fact of first degree murder. That's what he's guilty of. And for that, he has time served by now. She tricked him into thinking it was a binding ritual, but she was already gone. All right? She is very dangerous, and she's as evil as they come. She is not caring for her baby. We have neighbors and people that watch down there. I am with an organization that's far-reaching. Okay? They report to us, as does Ken's neighbors in Boca Raton. She pals around with nothing but a bunch of women, and there's never her baby in tow. She wouldn't know what to do with the baby if you fucking dropped one off on her. She wouldn't know what to do. She'd probably call poison control. All right? So she did that to her mother so she could be famous. That's what she was told. That's what she's always wanted, as evidenced by those videos. That's all she ever talked about. How she wants to be rich and famous, this and that. You know, she didn't know anything about Illuminati. I don't know anything about that, she said. But I think it has something. I heard it has something to do with politicians and actors and named everything that, well, the Illuminati is. So this is what we're dealing with, man. There's people still that support her and believe her. This bitch is not taking care of a child. She wouldn't know how to take care of a child. And thank God she isn't. I've told you people, she was pregnant by Ryan. She lost at the end of March, beginning of April, period, and had a D&C, otherwise known as a dilatation and curettage. That happened. I'm not surmising that. It happened. And yes, I'm trying to find someone with access that will do it for money, and I will get that document for you, and I will post it because I'm not that motherfucker's medical provider. But until then, I'm telling you, that's what happened. She lost that baby in a lifetime, said the show must go on. All right? And so this dumb bitch in her hubris, she thinks she's so much smarter than everybody. When she's actually the dumbest bitch in the room. Okay? Yeah, I can pull it off. Fuck it. Yeah, just won't ever put my kid online. They won't question that. And then, you know, they'll get some here and there. And, oh, yeah, their grandparents don't ever speak of their granddaughter. No one ever, you know, it's not nothing. There's just so ridiculous that anyone believes that this bitch really has a baby. It is absolutely ridiculous. I'm telling you, she had a miscarriage. Wasn't even growing at all. That's what it is like with these reptiles. These reptiles. But anyway, so if that were not enough that she did that to her mother, then she takes off to prison. Guys, Ken was a gig. That was a big front. Ken, that was to set it up so when she got out. The whole thing was planned to do what they did to Ryan, and that is so disgusting. That's how these people operate. This was a plan from the start. Ken writes her some letters and comes and makes some few visits, getting paid the whole while. That was all fake. Right? Now, it may have, this part I'm not certain of it. Ken may have tricked Gypsy to they may have wanted it to look real on her side. I don't know that part for sure, okay? I can't get in people's minds. But I know it was a gig for her. I mean, I know he's paid by it. I know the whole thing. Probably the way they operate, because they wanted her not to try to act and be natural, probably had her fall for him for real. So it's probably real on her end, in a sense, is what I'm trying to tell you. But he was just acting. But so she got back exactly what she, you know? Ken got her the way she got Ryan, I guess. Well, it's backwards. Well, whatever. But anyway, so he did that, and then because Ken's not going to marry her, he's not going to do that as part of the gig as legally, because they couldn't do a fake marriage in prison just to impress all of us or whatever, I guess. So he wasn't going to, or no, they wouldn't do a fake prison. That's right, duh, because the reason for the marriage was for her to go home with the person. That's what I'm trying to. I didn't think about that, but I'm sorry. I smoked a little weed because of my back. Um, no, but can't because listen, she wanted listen. In Missouri, you got to do 85% because it's a violent crime. Okay, your first time in prison, they can't max you out. They can't keep you there the whole time. They got to let you out on parole. But that's why it wouldn't matter about her good or bad behavior because she had shit behavior. She had a whole bunch of write-ups. I know the truth of what's going on. She had a whole bunch of shit write-ups. She would have never came up for parole. Don't let them fucking lie to you. She would have never got parole with her shit behavior. She's not even remorseful or anything. No, 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 no. It was her first time in prison, so they cannot max you out. All right. But if she would have went home to 85%. Okay, that's what she did. 8.5 years, 10 years, 85%. Well, she would have had to went to a halfway house because her parents didn't want her. And then they would have had to do a compact, interstate compact beforehand in Missouri. They would have done that way ahead of time before she got out. And her parole would have transferred to Louisiana because you can't just do that with parole, go state to state and shit. You got to do interstate compact. You can change any county or parish within your state or whatever. You can move around, but not. You got to do an interstate compact. It takes time. You got the one governor contacts the other governor back and forth and all this shit. They handle that while you're still in prison, but because her parents didn't fucking want her because of several reasons. She has hygiene problems. She doesn't clean up after herself. She's a spoiled little bitch. That's Dee Dee's fault, but well, if her fucking piece of shit father was around, maybe Dee Dee wouldn't have felt guilty and spoiled her daughter. Well, everything happens for a reason. So Mike Stanfield told her, find some fucking hard up dude that looks good on paper that you can trick into marrying in there so you can just go straight home to him and get out at 85% and not have to go to the halfway house. Gypsy, I know exactly what happened with everything, so don't even fucking try me, bitch, man. Like, I know everything, man. I know everything that happened with you. And everything I'm telling you guys, this is the truth, man. I don't care who you are, first time you see me, last time you're going to look at me. I'm telling you, everything I'm telling you is the truth, man. Every bit of it. So she manipulated him and Mike Stanfield even said, you're going to have to fuck him a couple times. I've heard about this too. It's disgusting how these people will do this. Make a man actually fall in love with him. And remember, they got married in 2022? So it was a couple, good year and a half or something. He's standing by his wife and all he wants her to come home. And now, what does she do? Immediately, she's trying to run off to her parents' house, acting like a crybaby. Because she didn't want to fuck him. I can't say I blame her, but you don't trick people like that. That's how disgusting she is. This is what I'm talking about. The disgust level of Gypsy Rose Blanchard I would like to talk about tonight. That's how disgusting she is. Look at how she just uses people, man. Used her mother, the person that brought her life, just used her right up when she got inconvenient. Say you bitch, but you know what? Never let a good crisis go to waste. So I might as well just take you out, so I can take you out and do the sacrifice, and I can be rich and famous finally all of a sudden. This is the sick motherfucker we're dealing with here, guys. All right. Well, that's enough talking about her. I'll see you on the next one.